As someone who's been on set quite often, I've gotten used to seeing various interactions between actors and actresses. But there was one couple who had really stolen my attention lately, Wang and Bai Lu. Both of them are not only professionals in front of the camera, but also have dynamics that are difficult to describe in words when the camera stops recording. That day, I witnessed firsthand how Dylan, in his typical manner, tried to get Bai Lu's attention. And to be honest, his manner was really sweet. It all started with a rather cloudy morning on the set. The crew is already busy preparing the set, while the players are still waiting for their turn for the next take. Bai Lu sat on the makeup chair, reading the script thoughtfully. Her hair was already neatly styled, and her face seemed focused once, completely immersed in her character. Dylan came a little late that morning, but not out of laziness. He recently completed an online promotion session for another project. As soon as he arrived, he immediately stepped quickly towards the area where Bai Lu was sitting. I, who was standing nearby, could clearly see the little smile that rose on his face as soon as I saw Bai Lu. "Liar," call him with a made-up, cheerful tone. Bai Lu turned around, but only for a moment. "You're late again," he said flatly, then looked back at the script. Dylan did not give up. She put her bag on the table near the makeup chair and leaned slightly towards him. "I brought breakfast. You know what? I thought you liked that egg sandwich from the corner cafe." I saw Bai Lu stop reading. Slowly he turned, his eyes slightly widened. "You remember?" he asked in a half-incredulous tone. "Yes, of course. I even ordered one without mayonnaise because you said you didn't like it," Dylan replied, lifting a paper bag containing breakfast. At first glance, I caught a faint smile on Bai Lu's lips, but he quickly hid it by pretending to go back to reading the script. "Thank you," he said slowly. But Dylan didn't stop there. He sat down on the chair next to him and opened a packet of bread for himself. "Then we eat together. Let the spirit before filming." While chewing, Dylan tried several times to make funny comments. She teased the makeup artist with a light joke, but each time her eyes kept glancing towards Bai Lu, as if looking for a reaction. Sometimes he would deliberately make strange noises just to have Bai Lu turn her head. And when the girl finally looked at him with a chuckle, Dylan immediately smiled with satisfaction, as if his efforts throughout the morning had paid off. After breakfast, they both headed to the set. The scene of the day was quite intense, but before the camera started recording, I had time to witness a warm little moment. Bai Lu seemed to be adjusting the position of the slightly shifted wig. Dylan, who was standing behind him, without being asked directly to help tidy it up. "Watch out, don't be too tight," Bai Lu said slowly. Dylan stopped, then looked at her from the mirror with a gentle smile. "You say that every time I help, even though I've been very careful." "I'm just afraid my hair is damaged," Bai Lu replied with a laugh. "Take it easy," Dylan said as he corrected the last part. "Your hair is safe, but my heart may not." It made everyone who heard it, including me, laugh a little. Bai Lu reflexively patted his arm, bashful but also couldn't help but smile. After several hours of filming, the atmosphere on the set began to relax. The weather was clear, and the afternoon break arrived. The crew as well as the players gathered in the dining tent. Bai Lu sat in one corner, enjoying her drink while conversing with the stylist. Dylan, who had just finished talking to the director, immediately turned his head and looked around for his figure. As soon as he saw Bai Lu, he walked quickly and sat down on the empty seat next to him. "Lover, would you like to try this drink?" He said it was delicious. It was a mixture of orange and honey, he said, handing the bottle. Bai Lu looked at him for a moment. "Why do you always tell me to try strange drinks?" "It's not weird, it's healthy," Dylan said casually. "You need something refreshing after that heavy scene." Without much thought, Bai Lu took the bottle and took a few sips. He was silent, then nodded slowly. It turns out delicious too." "Well, right, I know your taste," Dylan said quickly, full of pride. They laughed together. Not long after, several crews joined in, but a warm aura between the two remained. In fact, there was a moment where Dylan quietly picked up a hand fan and fanned the hot-looking Bai Lu. He did it slowly, as if it were normal. Bai Lu briefly glanced at him and said, "You think I can't fan myself?" Dylan smiled, looking at her gently. Of course you can, but I want to do it. I don't know if Bai Lu realized how Dylan's concern that day was so real, but from where I was standing, everything seemed clear. Dylan seemed like he really wanted to make Bai Lu comfortable, and every little thing he did felt sincere. Late in the evening, the two of them returned to the set for the shooting of the last scene of the day, a romantic scene under a large tree. The weather is a bit chilly, the leaves fall slowly. When the camera hadn't started recording yet, Dylan suddenly picked up a single leaf that had fallen on Bai Lu's shoulder and said in a gentle tone, "Look, even the leaves want to touch you." Bai Lu laughed, but her cheeks were slightly red. "You really like to talk too much." "It's not an exaggeration," Dylan said as he looked at the leaf. "I'm just being honest." When the scene was finally recorded, the chemistry of the two was truly alive. Even the director had commented, "You don't need to act hard. Such a natural impression is difficult to create." I agree in my heart. Their interactions off camera do form real connections that carry over to the screen. After the shooting was over, Bai Lu seemed to be about to go home first. He walked to the car, while Dylan was still talking to the crew. But suddenly he ran a little, calling out, "Liar, wait." Bai Lu stopped and turned around. Dylan came with something, a small bouquet of wildflowers that he picked around the site. "For you," he said. "This is a symbol of good luck," he said with a smile. Bai Lu looked at the flower, then Dylan, with a gentle look. "You always know how to keep people from getting angry," he said as he received the flowers. "That's great," Dylan replied with a wink. I stood not far from them and could feel the warm atmosphere surrounding the two. Nothing superfluous, nothing far-fetched. It all felt natural, like two people really enjoying each other's presence. All the way home, I couldn't stop smiling remembering those moments. Dylan Wang is not only an actor full of charm, but also someone who knows how to treat his colleagues with attention. The way he sought Bai Lu's attention was not with big actions or made-up sweet words. He does it through simple things, reminding her of her favorite breakfast, helping her with her hair, or simply offering her a drink. And sweetest of all, every time Bai Lu looked at him and laughed, Dylan always looked back with the same smile. Calm, sincere, and full of a fondness that was hard to hide. Perhaps for him, seeking attention is not just an act, it is a subtle way of saying, "I care about you, even in small things that you may not notice." That day, I realized something. Sweet moments between Dylan Wang and Bai Lu don't always come in the form of flashy intimacy. Sometimes, it is hidden behind a small laugh, a brief look, and a simple attention that is done without being asked. And for anyone who saw it in person like me, it was impossible not to smile. It was late afternoon when their respective cars left the site. But the image of their laughter, the lighthearted jokes, and the way Dylan sought attention in such a gentle way, still lingered in my mind. If anyone asks me what sweet really means, I'll answer. Just look at how Dylan treated Bai Lu that day. Because without the need for the word love, everything is clear enough.